What's the biggest problem with fountain pens? Well, they're expensive, but that's not the main issue. What's the biggest problem? They can occasionally make your hands look like this, but that's not the biggest problem either. What's the biggest problem? That the ones you want are always sold out, but that's not really. What's the biggest problem? That they run out of ink. Talking to the microphone. Sorry, I think I just pulled that, but it's still there. Okay. Now, they run out of ink at inconvenient moments. What can we do about that? Nothing. Unless you're Pininfarina when you come up with this. This thing has been around for a while. I know this has been around for a while because I remember this was launched. I remember I was pretty sure in Akkerman in The Hague where they had one on display that you could try out. I did try it out. I think it's fascinating. So this is, I don't know what this is. If we define a pen as something that is filled with ink somehow, whether that is water-based like a fountain pen or a rollerball, or oil-based like a ballpoint, then this is not really a pen. If you define a pencil as something with graphite in it, then it's also not really a pencil. This is something Pininfarina came up with, and it has a very special tip, and that tip is a type of metal alloy which kind of scratches into the paper and oxidizes. I still don't fully understand if it is the nib that oxidizes, or the tip that oxidizes, or the paper that oxidizes, or both, or... Anyway, explain that to me. But basically this is a writing instrument that creates writing that looks like it was done with a pencil, except it won't run out of graphite or whatever because it has this metal tip which is supposed to last extremely long and realistically would probably outlast all of us. So like a million years from now, human beings are extinct, and then aliens will come out from space and they will find this and they were like, ew, they were still using that to write with. Because using something to scratch into something else to write is pretty old. But it's fascinating, and I find it fascinating. So, Appelboom lent me this. I appreciate that. I'm going to cover the parts of this thing. Then we'll do a writing sample. I'll tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk about the Pininfarina Ethergraf. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say Ethergraf, but in any case, the Cambiano. So, pen, aluminum finish, but there are other metal finishes available. There's a rose gold, maybe that's also aluminum, but I mean it looks like rose gold, etc. The whole point of this thing is that it has a metal alloy tip that then scratches paper, oxidizes it. You end up with something that looks like pencil writing. The pen costs like the writing instrument, I guess, costs 98 euros 35 cents at Appelboom. Should be forever, at the very least, long lasting. Let's look quickly at the box. I'll show you the pieces of the thing itself. The box is just cardboard, and then you have some paperwork in it. We have a bit of the history of the brand and such. We have this, which I'm thinking is just to protect the wood. I'll show you in just a second. And then we have some more information about the particular writing instrument. What wood was I talking about? Well, this wood, there is this sort of block inside the box, and that block has two functions. First of all, you can put the writing instrument on top of it, which is kind of nice. That way it won't fall off. There is a little groove cut for it. It's a little hard to see, but it is there. Or you can use it in kind of a traditional sort of desk pen setting. I know you, so it would look like this if you look at it from the side. And you have a little cubby hole here. You can take this thing out, and then you can just put the pen. I keep saying pen. I'm going to keep saying pen. The writing instrument, you can put that in there, which is also kind of nice if you're traveling, for example. I mean, this would be pretty heavy to travel with, but you know what I mean. Like if you want to transport it somewhere, you can do this. And this wooden desk stand is also engraved with the Pininfarina logo. Maybe engraved is not the right term when you deal with wood, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Pininfarina is also on the actual instrument. I'll show you this. It's flattish on one side, so that's kind of convenient. I'll show you this right next to a Pilot Metropolitan. As you can see, it's fairly long, not super girthy though. I don't think there is a whole lot to show really. There is no nib, there is no clip or anything like that. It's a solid piece. Quite a bit of metal, which gives it a nice amount of heft. And then it looks a bit like a pencil, I would say. Nice wood, which I think is quite nice, gives it a bit of a warmer look. And then you have that magic tip, which is some sort of alloy. That's really what I have about the instrument itself. All I can say is it feels way more solid than you probably think it feels. So I don't know if there's a metal core in it, but it feels really, really solid. Someone's going to ask me if this comes off. I've been unable to remove that. I don't think you're supposed to unscrew that, pull it out, whatever. But that is that tip. And it's supposed to be able to write in a lot of surfaces. This happens to be a cutting board, which I use as my background. It doesn't do much on that. I do think it needs some sort of paper. Let's use some of this waxed canvas of my Lockbee notebook. I can see something on there. I don't know if you do too, but there is something there. The real stuff to use this on, of course, is paper. There's nothing to post, there's no cap, there is just this object. Let's see what happens if we try to write with this. So here we have the Pininfarina Ethergraf. Nothing else to say about it. No nib width, no nothing. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. No nothing is also terrible English, but you know what I mean. It looks a lot like a pencil, doesn't it? Here we have my favorite mechanical pencil, and I'm very embarrassed. I don't remember the brand. I did review this. This is, I think, 0.5, I want to say 0.5 millimeter. Mechanical pencil, very nice. I love this. And again, I'm so sorry, I forgot the brand. But I haven't reviewed that many pencils, so the index on my website should give you this. As you can see, this writing is very much like a pencil, right? I'll do some writing. I'm pushing down with quite a bit of pressure right now, just because I want to make sure that the writing actually shows up somewhat legible on the video. Right, and I think it does. If I were to use with my normal writing pressure that I would use with fountain pens, you would get this. So that is certainly thinner. I'll try to zoom in. It is there. I know it's hard for the camera to pick that. That's too much to focus on that, but you can see it, but it's definitely thinner, right? I mean, I can go fast, like it doesn't matter. It's more like a pencil, right? But as you can see, go fast as you want. There is no issue here. Obviously, there's no such thing as upside down writing, whatever, because it's a round tip. So you can either choose to kind of hold the wood ends or hold the metal ends, depending on what you find most comfortable. And because this section is so tapered, you can really hold it up higher or lower, depending on the size of your hands. And because it's quite a long writing instrument, you can really do what feels best to you. That weight is really pleasant, and I really, really like this. So, very cool writing tool that I think is a nice bit of God. It's a nice bit of curiosity, right? A bit of a gimmick, but conversation piece. Put it on your desk, bound to spark conversations, and a nice alternative to a pencil. I've been playing around with it quite a bit. I don't really see any wear on the tip, which is exactly what I would expect. Can't really make it very in line with, which you can sort of do with a mechanical pencil, right? Like I'll take out this pencil again. If someone can identify, please do. This is I've been writing a bit with this, so here you get the sort of thicker line, and if I turn that, a thinner line, because of the way it's been ground down with my writing, right? So you can't really do that with this Pininfarina. I still think this is a very cool tool, and we should talk about likes and dislikes. What do I like about this thing. And what do I not like about this thing? Well, first of all, it keeps making me think of Friends Forever. I don't remember the lyrics. I don't remember. Etc. Because this is supposed to last forever. Now, forever is a long time. I'm sure it will wear out at some point, but let's be fair, scraping this across paper should not make it wear out in a week. This should take a while. We should do a test. We should build a machine, put this in it, and let it just write for a long time and see how long it lasts. Anyway, moving on to something more sensible. What do I like about this? This thing is solid, and I don't just mean because the writing mode, but because the way it's made. It feels solid. A lot of metal. As I said, like this is aluminum, but you can get rose gold finishes. I'm sure that's probably also aluminum, but in any case, feels really solid. And then the wood gives it a bit of a warm feeling. I don't mean warm in temperature, but kind of the looks. It looks nice, a bit rustic. I really like it. I didn't think I would, but I did. And it's quite nice. It's comfortable. It's no refills. You buy this once for the 98 euros that it goes for, and then you're set for years. And I can see that if you're a lover, especially of pencils, and I know that you are out there, this might be a very interesting thing to check out, right? You buy it once, you forget about it, you have it, it won't run out. You know, I think that's great. Are there any cons for me? Frankly, not that many. I know 98 euros is not cheap, but think about it. You buy it once and you're probably good for decades, let's be fair. At the very least, years, people. I don't see this running out unless you write 1,000 pages every day, but I think most of us don't. So I really see this lasting a long time. Beyond that, I don't really have any cons. I think it's a cool product. It's a little gimmicky. It is. I know. Yeah. But it's so comfortable, and it writes pretty nicely, and it does what it says it does, that I really don't have any issues with it. So it's not for everyone, but you got a cool wood desk stand. That's kind of neat. I like it. I think it's a cool idea. So that's all I have. I don't have cons. If you have one and you found cons, let me know in the comments. It's always interesting for other people to read and for me as well. That's it. Thank you, Joost, for lending me this. I appreciate it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye.